Coming up on this edition of Rev Culture, Tag on the Go. Thanks for joining me on this edition of the show. I'm Todd Lewis. Coming up, it's an extended conversation with Alex Tagliani. He began his career of decades in Canadian motorsport in open wheel. He's moved on to stock cars. And we look back on 2024 and talk with Alex about what's ahead in 2025. Alex, let's start by looking back at 2024. Circumstances sort of fell that you only wound up racing the road courses in the NASCAR Canada Series. I think it was really too bad for everyone. And I know that only running a limited schedule frustrated you as well.
Yeah, I think the way things unfolded was unfortunate because I was ready to race full season. Multiple reasons. Unfortunately, I had to make a decision to run partial season. But at the end, it was a nice thing because I got the chance to work with another team. Donald had a really good group of guys, and we arrived at the track extremely late. Funny enough, like the car showed up at 11 o'clock in the parking lot of Motorsport, and I think first practice was at 12. It was cutting it as short as you can imagine. But nevertheless, it was a really fun short season because the guys are great. Donald is very much engaged in the team. The guys are dedicated, and I felt like maybe we left a lot of things on the table, a lot of unfinished business. We had to go racing with like a curveball that was thrown at us with the new braking system that ended up not working for us. And then finally, when we maybe had an handle of, on it with no testing, it was the end of the season. So, I think we had the pace in many places where we could have done really well again. But, the lack of preparation was not our greatest friend. So, we feel that there's more to come. So potentially this relationship will continue, and with some extra, who knows? But there's the desire of redoing all this again, but doing it right, And interesting enough, like it will probably be the first season where like if everything is ready now in November, can you imagine if we can basically start running the car when there's no more snow in April? I mean, we will be so much ahead than we were this year, and just that will create a lot of fun in itself, and so we'll see what's going to happen, but it's in the plan, it's in the cards.
Sounds like the goal is to be back full-time in 2025, but only if the circumstances are right.
Yes, definitely. I love racing very much. It's on a race weekend, it's for me, it's not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be, getting away from the stress of the week of businesses and employees and inventory and a lot of stuff. But it has to feel right, and if it would be only for me and Donald would have the infrastructure to run me for the full season, that's where I would end up, because I had a lot of fun with all the guys. I think they're very, very good, considering all the issues that we had on a Saturday morning or prior to qualifying or during practice. Like I was blown away, how resourceful they were to get us out and to arranging everything that we had to fight with. So it was cool, and I think in a different in a different circumstances, we probably would have been in a very good position. Without the braking problem, we were heading to fight for the lead in Tree River. At INDYCAR, we were extremely fast, but then we had this brake issue in practice. We had to change everything. Started dead last, finished sixth. Motorsport, we broke a sway bar. Just, and the season, when you do partial season, is so short that, you don't have margins to say, oh, okay, we're going to get it back on the oval. No, you're not, because you're not doing them. So your races are basically the only road course races you do. But when they become, like altered by mechanical issues and challenges, then it becomes even a shorter season, right? So that's why it was unfortunate, but I don't take away the fun that we had. And if I listen to what Donald said, he felt that his boys had a blast. And I mean, it's cool because at least, it means that we gel and we had a lot of fun together. And I felt the same. So that's, a tick that we can scratch. But, if we can't do a full season with him, then we'll try to do an hybrid way of maybe competing full season. But there's other opportunities that could be looking good. But my wish would be to compete a full season and then do the road course and just get them done properly. Hope to bring a win to the team that Donald wants so bad on the road course. And just by contributing to that will make me feel extremely good. And then if I race on the oval somewhere else, but now we'll compete against him. So we won't be teammate, but at the end of the day, I'll have the chance to fight for a championship, and the number 80 has a chance to fight for a title, owner's championship. So it might not be, a bad option either. So, but it's finding the right home to get to do that.
You mentioned that the racing is the fun part for you because you are one of the busiest people I know. Tag e-karting is just one of the many things you get into. You have always been this way, though. You're involved in so many things. It's just seems like it's what you do.
Yeah, and I won't be happy until there's another one that's popping somewhere. It's in the play. I don't know. I mean, when when you, I don't know how can I explain this, but when you dream of building a home, right? When you get into your first apartment, you're not going to lay back and chill, and be happy, because in a way your dream is to build a home, but now it's temporary. You're in an apartment. Then step 2, you build a condo. So, and then you go into a townhome. And then it's always temporary because like your main official original dream was to have a home. So until you see yourself with your yard, with your pool, with whatever you dream of, whatever it is that, makes you tick, all these other steps are temporary and they're like you're passing through. So, but when that happens with home, people don't say, oh my God, you're busy, because you're in an apartment, but you dream of a condo, you dream of a townhouse, you dream of a home. People don't say that you're busy because you have all these plans in your head. But when it's business, then they see you busy because you have all these plans. But it's the same thing if you have a different dream for your personal life and then it takes time to achieve. In business, it makes you busy because you dream of one thing and then people from the outside might think, okay, he's done this. But originally, I didn't want to build a taggy karting. I wanted to have multiple taggy karting. So as the taggy karting, come to fruition and to life, then you're trying to understand the good and the bad of the business. You're trying to, make sure that, you know, like you're making it super duper good. And then when that seems to be where you want to be, then your head is already thinking of the next one, right? So at the end of the day, it's similar to a lot of things, but it always seemed to be more crazy when it's business than when you're trying to achieve a personal dream. Unless I'm not competitive, then why racing?
Welcome back to the show. As we rejoin our conversation with Alex Tagliani, we continue to look back on his career, what motivates him, and what excites him about racing.
Yeah, but you know, like, yeah, you know me for a long time. And I think what makes me busy, it is not the dream or the trying to achieve certain things. What makes me busy in my life is the partnership and the relationship. So you create partnership and relationship to raise money to go racing. And then in this business that we're running, there's a lot of that. There's partnership and relationship. So it feels like I ended up landing into a business where it's the same thing yet again, but now I'm not creating these partnership and relationship to go race. I have them because they're part of the business. And there's always demands, there's always requests, and you can't say no now because your name is on the building and you want to really deliver. So you can never say no to a sponsor, then you cannot say no to a client. So then you're getting into this circle where that is what makes you busy, not really the dream of trying to build another one or achieving something else. What makes you busy is it seems that you're in this roller coaster or, um, you know, like spiral of partnership, relationship, sponsors, demands, and then you have to deliver, you have to deliver, you have to say yes, you have to, and then it's just there's no time at the end of the day to basically even sit down and chill and do something, right? So it's 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 crazy because I'm laughing because I hear Bronte in the house. And so the season is over, and I said to her, "Oh, this year will be great because I'm only gonna do 4 races, so I'm gonna be so less busy, right?" And then when you're busy during the season, you're saying, "Oh, at the end of the season, when October will arrive, I'll have so much more time, right?" Well, this year I've done 4 races, and I swear to God, I probably jumped into my pool once into the entire summer, right? I said, I go to the storage, I pick up my road bike, and I said, "Oh, this year I'm going to go from mountain biking to road bike. I'm going to go back to do road bike the way I was doing it in Vegas." I had one ride in the entire summer. Like, I don't know, I can't tell you, but it's just like it always ends up being like this. So then Bronte says, "But can you imagine if you would have had to do 12 races?" So it's funny because I look back at the season and I'm thinking, my God, maybe it was just like, you know, better that I only had 4 races because I would have probably died. Or maybe I would have like prayed for adding few hours in a day. I needed a 32-hour a day to deliver. So, you know, it's you always find ways to make you busy no matter what happened. And I think that's what keeps me going. But the racing, the reason why I love racing is not only because I love driving. Yeah, I love driving, it's cool. But I like the progression between finding the sponsorship, and then I need to do a good job for them, or I need to deliver, and then it has to make me think, becoming like marketing guy. You know, I need to play some activation in my head. You know, this year I had a lot of fun with my activations because some of the contest and some of the pricing that we've done with some of my partnership was actually bringing them around the racetrack in a GT3 RS. So, you know, I over the years I resist the temptation of staying away from sports car because I don't want to end up in jail or dead. So I always said, like, sports car, I'm gonna be okay in my SUV, and I'm just gonna stay away from sports car. But this year, I was able to go like flat out on the track with the sports car, enjoy, all these different activities that we've done. So it was interesting again, because there was always something new that for so long I never thought that I was going to include in my sponsorship delivering. But now I finally had the chance to do it, and I had a lot of fun. So this part is something that I like, and if I don't have it to if I don't have the reason to go out there and work on raising money to basically go racing, and trust me, it's probably the it's probably the worst business model, because 25 years ago, if I would have put the initial money that I spent to go driving, and I would have invested in real estate, today I would be billionaire. And instead, you raise the money and you burn it through racing. It's actually the worst investment possible. But it's when you deliver for a sponsor, it's also very rewarding at the business level, at the marketing level, as the driver level. So there's a lot of gratification that you get from that, and that's all the things that excites me in the racing part.
I think I know the answer, but have you thought about how much longer you'll keep driving? And I think it's just as long as it's still exciting and fun for you.
Yeah, so I said, maybe I'm not gonna be able to 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 achieve that, because I said, unless I'm not competitive, then why racing? But then that's a catch 22, because what happened if I'm competitive, and I'm 60? Like, then people will say, well, you're still competitive and you said you were going to continue. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's not going to, I don't want to do it at that time, but and funny enough, I got a couple of calls, when I talked to a team to do some sports car racing, because some gentleman drivers was looking for a coach, a mentor, and a teammate at the same time. And I'm considering it also, but like I said, there's a part of me that I want to try to raise the sponsorship too, and that's why every time it's funny, because when I get this call, and that happened last week actually, and I said to the guy right away, he didn't ask me for money, he was just asking me for my service, and I said, oh, maybe I can help the team bring some sponsor. Like, why is this thing always has to come out of my mouth? Like, just go there, just drive the freaking car, and just go home, and just get tan around your pool and enjoy the summer. I don't know. It's maybe something that it's in me, that part I kind of like, the selling part, also the creating these partnership that I enjoy. So when I look at how long I can do it, well, yes, there's the, can I be competitive? Yes. I don't think there'll be a problem in the next 2 to 3 years to be at the front. No problem. Okay. If I have a program that is for 2 to 3 years, maybe I can say, this is the program, it exists, it's there. I'm going to ride the program for 3 years, but I'm not going to start working for a fourth one. So when you decide to stop to work to try to raise a program in a longer period like this, that's when you will arrive at the edge of the cliff, and you'll say, now I raced for so long without having to raise sponsorship. For 3 years, I just didn't think about sponsorship. Whoa, now if I want to continue a fourth year, now I need to start over again, but it's been 3 years that you've been riding it with the same partners. Maybe that's when there'll be a click that will say, oh, I don't want to restart this whole process again from scratch, you know? But when you have these like 1 year, you get into this plan where it's kind of normal, you know? So 1 year, resign, 1 year, resign, 1 year, resign, 1 year, resign. But when you plan for a longer period of time, maybe when you arrive at the end of that time, it might be like tough to just restart everything for a fourth year. So maybe that's when everything will stop. But I'm gonna try to stop and still be competitive, you know, because then it will be like, man, I can still do it, but I just want to chill. I'm not gonna wait until I'm driving at the back. That's not me, you know. I don't want to be a gentleman driver. I like to be a driver, and I will finish still as a driver, not a gentleman driver. You know, I don't have that desire to race until, you know, I'm no good no more.
Alex, hang around as long as you can and as long as you want. Motorsports is better with you in it. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Hopefully I can stay longer, but in a different way. Maybe I can extend the relationship with the sponsor and find a way to put a guy in the car. How's that?
That works.
Yeah.
And that will do it for this edition of Rev Culture. Don't forget you can catch up on past episodes by going to the Rev TV YouTube channel, and please make sure you're following our social channels. Thanks for watching. See you next time.